Welcome to today's GIS Report. I'm April Glasgow for the Premier's Office and Ministry of Finance. And on today's GIS Report, we are joined by Commissioner of the Inland Revenue Department, Mrs. Karen Smith-Aaron. We also have Deputy Financial Secretary, Mr. Jeremy Vanterpool. And we also have Programmer from the Department of Information Technology, Mrs. Shonda Letsom. And we're here to talk about everyone's favorite subject, taxes. No, I know that many persons may disagree, but because of the new system that's going to be coming on board quite soon, it's going to sure to benefit all taxpayers in the British Virgin Islands. And here to talk more about the system is Mrs. Aaron from the Inland Revenue Department, who's going to introduce what that new system is and highlight the benefits. Mrs. Aaron, thank you so much for joining me on today's GIS Report.
Well, thank you for having us.
And we're going to get straight into it. So I just announced we have a new program. We have a new system in place. Can you tell us what exactly is the system?
Well, we currently operate SIGTAS 1.0, which is the tax system that collects the taxes. We are now upgrading to a window-based system that is able to accept payments via e-payment, the e-payment gateway that we're going to, the government will be launching soon. So how it benefits the taxpayers that they can sit at their place of business and pay and do not have to come and queue up in a line.
That in itself is amazing. Let's say it one more time. What is the system and how is it going to directly benefit our taxpayers?
They can actually sit in their office, their home, any place they can connect to on Wi-Fi and pay their taxes.
Wonderful. I think that all of us agree here that is definitely a major benefit. So we're talking about an online system, fully automated. In addition to being able to pay your taxes from wherever you are in the BVI or even in the world, what else can taxpayers expect to see?
All taxpayers should be aware of the problems we had earlier this year and last year with long queues for persons applying for certificates, whether certificate of earnings or good standing certificates. This system will give those taxpayers the ability to apply online and receive their certificate automatically. The certificate of good standing would be available once we commence the new system. And all taxpayers will have to know at that point, you're either in good standing or you're not. It won't have any manual intervention. So if you're not in good standing, you will not be able to get a certificate. Coming later on in stream, when we actually have enough information in the system, the certificate of earnings for the employees will also be available by applying online and printing them at your place of business or home.
Wow. So are we saying that persons will also be able to look into this new system and even see their current status, like where they are, if they're up to date and what have you?
Yes. In addition to being able to see it in the system, you would get regular emails telling you of your status, whether you're outstanding, what periods need to be paid, reminders of when to pay, because as everyone knows, payments for vehicle tax, HAT, is due on the 15th. Whereas payroll tax is due on the 21st. So you would get regular reminders via email. Your receipts would come via email. So it would be automatic communication to the taxpayer.
This sounds excellent. And I know from the Ministry of Finance's standpoint that it's very important that all of your departments, all the different government agencies definitely get serious about not only revenue collection, but even in terms of how we do it and ensure that it's a streamlined process. You wanna speak to that in terms of the remit from the Ministry of Finance?
Yes, I do. Thanks, April. Thanks, Commissioner. The Ministry of Finance is cognizant that streamlining processes is very important. We have been pushing that initiative for quite some time, and it will play and fit right into the full e-government initiative that's on stream within the next couple of years. So the upgrade of the SIGTAS 3.0, the upgrade to SIGTAS 3.0 is just one of the many cogs that will enhance the whole machinery of central government. So we're very excited about it. We embarked this project from October, and it's slated to be a full 2-year project, 2 to 3 year project, and we have quite a big portion of it becoming live hopefully in February next year, and we're very excited about it. We have a very capable team. The Inland Revenue Department and the Department of IT has been very instrumental in pushing it. Mrs. Aaron, Mrs. Annabelle Skelton Malone, and all the other team members, and we also have one of Ms. Letsam as well, a programmer. They've been very instrumental, and we feel very confident that this will bring us the level of efficiency that we need within the central government.
Thank you so much. You hit all of my my key points, definitely, and I agree that this is something that we have been working on for quite some time with government, as we know that we have to ensure efficiency across the board, and of course, which will benefit the end user, which is why I'm going to throw the next question to Mrs. Letsam. No, when we're talking about new or updated or anything that signifies change, sometimes persons get a bit uncomfortable. But from an IT standpoint, how would you say, how user-friendly is the new system going to be?
The new system would be very user-friendly. Give the users the information that they need in order to perform their task and, make the Inland Revenue job a lot easier and more efficient in what they're doing.
Right. And in speaking with you earlier, I do remember you saying that the system is actually very much designed from that perspective, that the user was, of course, Inland Revenue and Ministry of Finance and all the objectives, but that the user is at the heart of the system. You wanna speak to that a bit more?
Well, the aim of systems is to focus on the user. So we're taking into consideration what the user's needs are, how they're going to interact with the system, how it's going to perform for them. So taking on all of that into consideration, development and everything is being done from that perspective.
Okay, so we can ensure that taxpayers are going to be able to navigate the system with ease.
That is the hope.
And of course, you are there to assist along the way. Now, it's a new system. Is it going to come with any user fees, any additional fees, anything that we can foresee right now, Mrs. Aaron?
Well, there will be no user fees, but because it's a new system, it's going to come with the teeth and pains of implementation. That is, every taxpayer and every employable employee in the BVI, or not employee, person, because you may not be an employee currently, but everybody has to re-register because you will need additional information in the system. Example, email address. So every company, every individual who registers will have to provide email address.
Wow. So we're talking about every single taxpayer, businesses, any person of employable age has to register on the new system.
That's correct.
That's a major task. How soon are we beginning that portion of the SIGTAS 3.0 program?
We hope to roll out registration in the next 2 weeks.
Okay.
In the next 2 weeks. So businesses should be prepared to upload a new trade license, their company documents, which is the memorandum of articles, directors, certificate, shareholders, certificate of incorporation. Because the difference is this system here will actually hold the paper, we'll scan it in, and we'll have the records online. Versus even if we have to go back and go on files, it would be a long, tedious exercise. And many companies have changed directors, shareholders, even names, and our records have not been updated. So our preference is to have every taxpayer re-register.
Okay. And of course, persons will know over the next few weeks when that process begins exactly, and we'll be able to provide a link and more information.
That's correct. And for those persons which we actually agree that they are going to be taxpayers or even individuals who do not have access to a computer, we will provide that service at the office at Fish Bay.
Okay, wonderful. So I think that all of you are doing an amazing job, and I'm so proud to witness the reform that's happening before my eyes. And we all know that that's a theme right now, that government reform is happening, that we are improving processes, efficiency, that we're streamlining, and of course, it's all for better Virgin Islands. Is there anything else you'd like to share with the public about the new system? Any encouragement for when the re-registration drive begins?
Well, at this point, I would like to encourage all taxpayers to bring all their tax returns up to date, because this system here, because it will hold employee data, which is different to SIGTAS 1.0, we can't bring forward the data from the old system. So we would like everybody to commence in February, which will be January's return, so that it will simplify the process going forward, and we would have an accurate balance to bring forward into the new system as to the taxpayer outstanding balance. So different in this system as well, as any taxpayer with an outstanding balance will have to sign and agree on a payment plan, because the system is also going to prompt you to pay whatever agreed payment is on a monthly basis.
Thank you, Mrs. Aaron. Thank you, Mr. Vanterpool. And thank you, Mrs. Letson, for joining me on today's GIS Report. So you've heard it. SIGTAS 3.0, the new tax receivable system from the Inland Revenue Department, will go live in February 2023. But the campaign for the re-registration drive for all taxpayers is going to begin in the next few weeks. For an update on that, please go to bvi.gov.vg, our official website, and of course follow GIS BVI on all our social platforms. I've been your host, April Glasgow. Thank you so much for tuning in.